Hello and welcome to today's October 14th second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update. On today's video, I will cover new proposals coming in regards to stimulus from the Senate. I will also share where we're at with the $1.8 trillion and $2.2 trillion proposals that are on the table. Also, Representative Hoyer of the House of Representatives weighs in on the stimulus situation. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now. It's totally free. All right. Now, with Nancy Pelosi rejecting the $1.8 trillion Republican bill, Senator Mitch McConnell said that this coming week, the Senate will be focused and working on standalone bills. What they are or what they will include, we're not sure yet. According to Mitch McConnell, who is the majority leader in the Senate, they need to get a few key standalone bills through Congress while they continue to work on a bigger stimulus package that includes money for the people. We don't know the full details of what will be in this new bill, but it's believed that it will have liability protection, money for schools, money for small businesses, and money for those that are still unemployed. If Pelosi didn't like the $1.8 trillion bill proposed, she's going to hate this new $500 to $700 billion proposal. Honestly, I think that the Senate's new proposal next week will be a total waste of time. But I believe that they are putting out what they believe are the key issues for the economy, so that perhaps enough Democrats will vote for them and they can get money flowing. But I believe that the Republicans are just wasting time at this point. If they should just continue to focus on the $1.8 trillion package that they've put forward and try to narrow the gap. But to come in with standalone bills that are small is just going to be a waste of time. Now, the reason that I say PPP and unemployment will be on is PPP is one area where both parties completely agree that money needs to go because it will actually save millions of jobs. It is believed that over 50 million American jobs were saved last time there was PPP money. And with things being rocky right now because of surges in the COVID situation, they need to save millions of jobs again. Unemployment is also very necessary, as many are at home right now, unable to get work, unable to pay for the majority of their bills. Now, state unemployment is still happening, but this boost was a big help for many, many Americans who found themselves unemployed for the first time. Now, back to the 1.8 and the $2.2 trillion proposals. Steve Mnuchin said he and Nancy Pelosi have had productive talks, but it was mostly on their differences in language and how big they should go when it comes to testing. He also said, we continue to make progress on certain issues, but on certain issues, we also continue to be far apart. Now, Mnuchin said, a bill needs to pass quickly, and state and local government would get about $300 billion in funds. He stated governments laying off employees like firefighters would have a cost to the federal government in unemployment, but also a cost to the economy. We don't want to see teachers running out of money, firefighters running out of money, police running out of money. These are the type of employees for the government, which is the largest employer in the country, that need access to that state and local funding. But the big difference is $400 billion and $300 billion, right? Pelosi wants over $400 billion. Mnuchin's plan calls for $300 billion. Now, House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer made the statement in reference to what he labeled the Trump administration's failure to reach an agreement. So he's basically saying it's the Trump administration's fault that a deal has not gone through. Representative Hoyer, when asked about stimulus relief in a recent interview, said we ought to see something pass in the next few days. So he seemed optimistic that this is not going to drag out till February, like Ro Khanna of California suggested yesterday in a tweet. He believes that we ought to see something in the next few days. Hoyer then said the person to blame is Senator Mitch McConnell because he isn't consistent and can't get his fellow Republicans on board for another stimulus package. Hoyer said our best shot at passing a bill comes from Steve Mnuchin. After all, it was Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi that have successfully passed 4 bills up to this point. We ought to be able to make a 5th, but we need the president to stay on target and have a single message. So Hoyer is essentially saying he believes it's the Republicans' fault. He specifically named and targeted Mitch McConnell, but he said that if something's going to be done, that they need President Trump to stay on target with a single message. Okay, now Hoyer said, here's the areas where we agree. He said, we agree on money to the airlines. We agree on family payments. We haven't quite worked out the details for unemployment, whether it should be 400 or 600, but this is something we could easily work through. He said where we are having issues is testing, money for food stamps and nutrition, and money to schools. Now, when he says areas where we agree, and he says family payments, I 100% believe this is him talking about stimulus checks direct to the people. I've never heard it called family payments. So, every politician seems to have their own words. So, okay. Now, lastly, he ended his interview by saying he fully believes that Steve Mnuchin and Pelosi want to make a deal and will make a deal. So, Hoyer only said one thing that I had to give a little bit of thought to. He said Trump needs to not be so concerned with having his name on the check. Now, I know that we're heading into an election, and one worry is if this happens before the election, will President Trump get credit? I think right now both parties look bad, and passing a bill would actually make both parties look good. The one area that I had issue, and this is not defending Trump, it's just an observation, is that the majority of money, stimulus money, that went out with the CARES Act was done electronically through direct deposit. So it had nothing to do with a signature. So people that get checks probably won't get something till after the election anyway. So to blame it on Trump's signature, I don't know. To me, that seemed kind of weird. I think most people have already made up their mind whether they hate Trump or love Trump or will vote for Biden or will vote for Trump. So I think that that's just politics coming in. But let me know what you think. Does this really just come down to Trump's signature, or is it something different? Okay, now Lisa from the community asks, Stephen, do you enjoy talking about politics because you seem to be good at it? Actually, no. As I have researched politics, the best word that I've come up with is gross. I find politics to be very gross. All right, now on a lighter note, I think I have figured out why there is a coin shortage in the United States. At first I thought it was everyone in the community setting up swear jars, but now I'm starting to think that everyone's just throwing coins into wishing wells, hoping and wishing that 2020 would just be over. All right. Broadway in New York City announced that they will stay closed and won't perform any new shows until May of 2021. That's very sad for the economy in that area. All right, now as I know more, I will share more. This stuff seems to change on a daily basis. I was not expecting the Senate to come up with new bills, but every day's a new day, right? All right, now last week I mentioned that I was invited to be in a docu-series on money, this new economy that we're going to be living in, and on business. It's 30 self-made millionaires that are going to be sharing their best tips for the new economy, making money, starting and running businesses. I was invited to be a part of that. It will be free to my community. It will start on October 27th. I will leave a link below. I would love if you would jump on and watch my segment. It's about 20 minutes. Anyway, it'll be completely free to the community. I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.